Monte Pittman. Currently with Ministry, but man of many bands.
Are you filming now, or are you just still talking to me?
So it's
Oh, yes, that's right. Hello. Hello there, Nikki Blakk. Nice
Hello,
to meet
it's
you.
nice to meet you,
First
sir.
time ever.
Yeah, ever. Well, I guess first and foremost, how long is this Ministry thing going on?
Well, it was just one show today.
Yeah, and then maybe there'll be another one after that.
Yeah, like into the spring, I think.
I feel like as a Ministry fan, we kind of are always expecting it to implode at some point. But to be fair, in recent years, it's fucking unstoppable.
I agree. I think the band is in top form and top shape, and we have a great time playing with each other. You know, we're not mainlining acid anymore.
Recently quit that, right?
Hi, we're Ministry. We're not mainlining acid. Yeah, this is the last show until we do another tour.
Which you anticipate being something that's going to happen?
I just work here. I have no idea. But usually when they book tours these days, it's like 6 months in advance. You know, like before you know that a tour is coming out. So I don't know.
I feel like 6 months
I'm
from
going
now,
to listen to your
know.
radio show to find out when these dates are. But I'll be there. I'll be there.
I do remember we had that conversation at one point about Madonna, where you were like, I said, I heard Madonna's going to be booking a tour, and you were like, cool, let me know.
Oh, that I never know until like, it's like Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same. Like, tour dates, this is tomorrow. Like, that's real, that really happens.
Jeez.
Like, you didn't know. You could have told me, like, months ago that we're going on tour. Now I've got to, like,
cancel a lot of
all
stuff.
these things. Yeah.
So what's it like when you have to drop everything for Madonna or Ministry, or, I mean, you don't have to drop stuff for your solo. That's, at least you can schedule that.
Not
right?
even worried about that. Yeah. Thanks.
You're in control of your solo project.
It's happened before, actually. When I played with Ministry like 10 years ago, there was like, we're sure Madonna's not doing anything. I'm like, yep, I'm sure. She's doing a promo tour and doing 3 new songs, and none of them have guitar. And then I was on my way to rehearsal. It was a beautiful day, great weather. I got coffee, and I had my phone like sitting right here in my car. I got my coffee, I got my drive. I'm gonna go jam with my friends. Put it in reverse, and when you get the notification on your phone, there's Madonna's tour manager, and it was a flight. And I put the car back in park, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is like tomorrow. And I called the tour manager and said, hey, I'm not doing the promo tour because there's like
Must
no
be a
guitar.
mistake. Yeah.
And he said, when she got off stage last night, she said, I just want Monte there to my right. I don't care if he's playing or not. And I said, but I'm going to Australia with it because I'm just doing my job. You take that up with her. I'm like, oh. So then I'm driving to rehearsal. I'm like, hey, you know how I told you that don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Well, I have to leave tomorrow.
That's rock and roll.
And at the time, the people, some of the people were not in the band anymore. They got fired because of this. Not really.
Oh my gosh!
But,
I was like, should we be talking about this, dude?
I'm just.
How much tequila have you had right now?
None.
No. Oh.
This is Kerry King's water that he just left. I think that's water.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
He's got it on
cactus
stage.
water.
And we have to go see
That's
the water.
agave water.
But Al was smoking a cigarette, and he was very cool about the whole thing. He goes, you know what? This is all my fault. And I'm like, I'm so stressed out. Like, so unbelievable. Not only do I have to tell the band that I have to leave, but I've got to leave to go on tour for a year with Madonna.
Yeah. Oh, it was a year.
Yeah, I've got a life. I've got home and stuff like that. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Stop the mail.
And he's like, she doesn't want you playing with me. One time in the early 80s, I went up to her on a dance floor and I said something to her and weirded her out. And I'm like, she doesn't... You know what? You're probably right. Thanks a lot, Al. It's all your fault.
Totally your fault, buddy.
So. No, I love playing with these guys, and we have a lot of fun. Love working with Al. Love learning so much.
Yeah?
learned so much from just getting to see how he comes up with ideas. On the most recent album, Hopium for the Masses, which I'm sure everyone's listening to every day, all day, on repeat. You know, just like being, I was there quite a few days. I won't say every day, but like, you know, quite a few days out of the week going, even if it was just like hang out. And just what I learned, it was like going to college.
Is he in LA now? I thought you guys were far apart.
I think he's at the hotel right
Well, don't call me Shirley.
now. Yeah, we're all in LA.
Oh, okay. So it's easier.
Yeah.
So is it a collaborative writing process?
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of like each person kind of brings in an idea, and then sometimes they cross-pollinate, or sometimes they, you know, you sort of hone in on one person's idea. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a collaboration, but also a little bit of it's like you give it to him and let him, he'll do his things to the sound, which I think is really fascinating. Like, oh, that's how you're doing that. That's how you do this.
What's something that he's done to a sound that you were completely shocked by?
Oh, a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I will tell you about, but not now.
Not now.
Yeah.
I think that somebody once told me that they went on tour with Ministry and said that every single rock and roll thing that you can think of, every cliche, every tragedy, every single scary thing in rock and roll happened on a Ministry tour.
Yeah,
Can you confirm or deny?
I know. Then I come in at the end.
you're like, where is that? Is it pretty chill now? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have fun, but we have fun. Like, it's, you know, it doesn't mean like we're partying all the time. People think that, but which is good. We just let people think that.
Let
But,
the legacy live on.
no, we just have a lot of fun together. But we just drink. When Kerry King leaves water around, we're like, well, he didn't drink his water, and like we're out of water.
It's like
As
agave
you can see,
infused
we have a
water.
small refrigerator. So.
So when are you gonna do a solo thing in between, or
You know what? It's so funny that you asked. I cannot believe you asked that question because I just started working on it.
did you?
First time in like, well, my last two albums came out in 2018, and
Because I remember I was out of radio at the time, and I remember talking to you at the Warfield, and I remember you saying, "Why aren't you in radio? I have a solo album coming out." So
Yeah.
now that I'm back in radio, I'm kind
Hey
of
Daniel, no, we're just doing an interview.
yeah.
Is this your apple?
Yeah. Did you want to sit down for a while?
No, I was seeing if there's something in here.
The lights look really good today.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
Most of that stuff was Slayer, so we didn't get to use like
Okay.
nearly what I thought.
He's not kidding. We are literally doing an interview right now. You're in it now. I hope you don't mind.
I was never here.
You don't have to sign a release.
You can't understand
I'm
what he's
publishing
saying.
it.
It
anymore.
counts as an alibi, right?
You can't understand.
It
what he's
does
saying.
actually.
Yeah, so started working on on another album.
Excellent, because
First
I felt
time-
bad that in 2018 I couldn't do anything to help promote
I
your
felt
solo album
really bad
last
that
time.
you didn't do anything to promote me.
Yeah, I mean, I tried.
But hopefully this one gets me out of debt. And so are you back on radio?
I am back on radio. That's why we're here.
No, yeah, so I didn't know if I had it in me, actually.
Why not?
You know, went through a lot of personal things in my life, and I just was like, I don't mean like writing songs, but there's other things like touring and promoting and doing it. But I've got this new sort of, where it all makes sense. I've got this new sort of frame of mind, I guess, where it's like I'm back in a way.
Okay.
In a way.
You just feel like things are falling
I
into
feel
place.
like I can do this again, but
Yeah.
like better than ever.
You realize
like-
that means you're going to get an email from Madonna any minute now.
I'm doing this only so I can go on tour with Madonna again.
You know
And
that
pay
once
for
you
the
get...
last album.
Yeah. You're fine. It's fine. We're fine.
We're just
She's
we're
not
saying
calling.
things that aren't
It's
true,
fine.
especially that one.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are
so
joking.
yeah, working on a new album, and you know, I always say like I was hoping because I'm with Metal Blade, and like I've got like I mean I would love to do 10 albums. I keep saying people think that I'm joking, but I really would. But anyway, right now I'm very, very happy with it. So, and that's something that I have not been able to say in a long, long, long time. More happy than anything I've ever done as far as writing. I'm really pushing myself to where everything is just like really like the best that you can do.
And
So-
Ministry's going to be on hiatus so that you can.
No,
Give
we
this your
start
full
doing
attention, or
we
you
start
gonna be-
doing the. We've already kind of been working on the final Ministry album. Like you said,
Farewell Tour Ministry album.
Yeah.
It should be called Farewell Tour.
I think hasn't
Because that way
hasn't
you're
he done
on the
that?
Farewell Tour, but that's the name of the album.
See, they've done that, but
It's
not
not
with
an
me. See,
actual
not with this
farewell tour.
lineup. So this
Yeah.
could be. I
Oh,
don't-
the See You
but,
Late Tour. But honestly, that was.
Al's been working with Paul Barker, who, from they always work together. And now, so for Ministry, like I became friends with Al from playing in prom.
Mhm.
So I don't know a lot, or I didn't know a lot about Ministry. Like I know that that's a great band and all that, but I came into this because from being friends with Al. Because we've known each other for
Have you gone back
20 years.
and kind of?
But now, yeah, right. So, but
Yeah.
see, some of the stuff I don't know, and that I did, if I didn't know that, I don't want to know it because it lets me
You don't want it to color.
bring like something fresh
Uh-huh.
to the idea. And then you kind of go back and go, oh, okay, that's like learning how, like when we started working on this next album, like just, I'll always ask Al questions like, how did you, like when we were working on the Hopium for the Masses album, we'd take a break and we'd go to the bar and get something to eat. And they're like, all right, so how did you write this song? What were you thinking when you wrote this song? What about this song? And I don't know if people get to ask them.
I don't.
Right, but
I would like to.
like, how did you write Just One Fix? It's like, oh, me and Mikey were passed out on the couch, and then we got a sequencer, and it's as far as the notes would go. That's as far as I could figure it out. And then they played that on guitar. And I'm like, okay, write song with sequencer.
and translate
just
to
play it
guitar.
on guitar. And so, yeah, so that's been, so I don't know, a really cool thing. And then also, like with Paul, like me asking him questions, it makes me think about it differently. I'm like, I said, for Stigmata, the da-na-na-na-na, I said, that's 3 different pieces of audio, isn't it? He goes, yeah. He said, the first one's just da-na-na, and then there's another piece of audio with the next chord, and he says, the 3rd chord, that's not even a guitar. But somehow, people who've been in the band before, like it all gets condensed to playing it as riffs.
So it's like a jigsaw
Yeah.
puzzle of
Yeah.
music that they put together pre Pro Tools,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were cutting tape into all these crazy drugs,
Right.
and you have to
Right.
write it into a riff that sounds like
Right.
that puzzle.
So then it makes me like sort of rethink about how we approach things live. And why are we playing it live? Why are we playing this song this way live? Is it because somebody from the band previously just played it that way and didn't know? Now that there's this information, you can approach it a different way. Yeah. So let's go see Slayer.
Yeah.
So
before.
when I have
Are
a
you
new
still
album
doing-
come out,
Are you still doing guitar lessons?
and I'm doing guitar lessons. I teach guitar lessons. You can find me anywhere online. You can email me at lessons@montepittman.com, but I have that email public, so I get so much junk mail. So I got asked. Someone said they were going to pay me like $20,000 to model jackets, and I'm like, what?
That's probably a scam.
Yeah, it was a scam.
But you figure if you
What if they were legit? But no, they weren't.
if you can teach Madonna,
And
how to
after
play
they
guitar,
drained my
you can
bank
teach anybody
accounts,
how to play
after they drained my bank accounts, did all that,
say
I
no to
knew
the
that-
Nigerian
yeah.
prince.
So
Yeah, that's
anyway,
definitely
but
a scam.
hopefully I'm not that hard to find, and if you ever need a guitar teacher, you come to me because I'm the best.
And
And I
Slayer's
will
about to
not
go
say
on,
that with anything
so-
else, but I want to go see Slayer now,
Yeah.
and I will teach you how to play their whole set list.
And cut.
All right.